Beneath 𝗨𝗏𝗵𝗵, one of Bhutan's 17 potentially dangerous glacial lakes, is a quiet settlement. Here, people continue to work in the fields, trying to preserve a sense of normalcy while living between uncertainty and displacement. For many families, life remains divided between two places. In the warmer months, as the snow melts and the threat of glacial lake outburst flood becomes imminent, they move across the river. They seek shelter under temporary tarpaulin sheds and huts in the relocated area. But as the temperature drops and winter grips the valley, families return to their old homes for warmth and reliable shelter. I'm standing in front of one of the temporary sheds here in 𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗃, one of the relocation sites for the people of Thangza. Relocation, however, is proving far more difficult than expected. While residents here have access to basic materials like boulder and sand, a critical component is missing: timber. And without it, building permanent homes is not possible. According to residents here, it could at least take 2 years to procure enough timber to build a house. Until then, settling here remains a challenge.
We are fortunate to receive land across the river from His Majesty. We also received tarpaulins to build temporary shelters. What's challenging is demolishing our existing houses. Rebuilding similar ones in the new location will be difficult as timber is not easily available.
For many families, relocation is less about moving and more about whether rebuilding is even possible.
As things stand, perhaps only around 30% of the people here are in a position to build new houses. Many families do not even own horses to transport timber. We do not know whether we will ever manage to build permanent homes there.
Rain seeps in when it rains, and strong winds make living conditions here difficult. Transporting timber also costs a lot. A horse takes almost an entire day to bring just 2 planks from Sangsha, and we pay around 3,000 yutam for a single trip. On top of that, we also have to pay those who help us fell the trees and transport the timber. The charges to hire horses are exorbitantly high. We are already spending quite a lot of them to transport food supplies and manure in summer. And now we have to worry about bringing in timber for the new houses. It will be difficult for us to manage.
Behind every house left in the old settlement is also a lifetime of sacrifice.
We spent all the money we earned from cordyceps on building these homes. We bought the CGI roofing sheets from Phinceling and painted our houses with traditional designs. Now we have to start all over again, and there's no timber.
We can only afford to build shelters this small. Building bigger houses means spending more, and that too just to transport timber.
But the barriers are not only financial. To some residents, dismantling these houses is beyond a physical task. It is a decision tied to faith, identity, and the environmental cost of rebuilding.
Those with skills and strategy can dismantle their houses and rebuild them here. But these homes are not just structures. We have worshipped our deities here for generations. So dismantling them could bring illness and misfortune to our family. Each household may need to cut at least 100 trees to build a house. We already have an issue here. In fact, people everywhere plant trees to prevent floods, but imagine us cutting all the trees to rebuild our lives.
For the community, alternative construction materials through the government support could help them address their concerns.
People here do not need big houses. With the government's support, we can manage with single-story structures. These days, we do not necessarily require timber for construction. People can use concrete blocks or other such materials.
The Gasa district administration is aware of the challenges. The Thangza-Toenchoe resettlement is listed as a priority project while the government explores a climate finance mechanism, the Loss and Damage Fund created during COP27. The proposal, worth around 953 million NETM, includes the construction of climate-resilient houses.
The government has prioritized this resettlement under loss and damage funding that is undergoing. The task force is working on this, and our resettlement project is one of the main component of this government proposal. So if it comes through, then we will be able to assist them in providing the modern housing materials which can resolve the timber issues.
Besides, the district administration is developing other permanent structures in the resettlement area. An ECCD center was completed recently, which will be operational soon. Meanwhile, as the government works to secure funds and develop structures, life for the people of Thangza and Toenchoe continues between two worlds, the home they cannot leave and the future they cannot yet build. This is 𝗍𝗵𝗂𝗍𝗶𝗄 for BBS News.